Bonjour, y'all. Episode 21 of Shed2Ed. Steve got the win last week, despite his pick, Kamaru Usman, getting the loss last week.
Yeah, Usman went down hard in the last round, and that really ruined the rest of my night. Overall, it was a fun night of fights. Really happy to get the naming rights back here with the easy $5 victory last week. So let's keep it rolling.
Let's keep it rolling. Episode 21, UFC Paris. Cyril Gane taking on Bam Bam Tuivasa.
I'm pretty hyped up for this fight. Cyril Gane, big fan of Cyril Gane. Amazing skill, amazing talent. And Tuivasa, big hype train lately. 5 straight KOs. He's looking to keep it going. But Cyril Gane, the man from Paris, France, is going to try and defend his home there.
Last week, great week to be a Leon Edwards fan. Congrats, Leon, new welterweight champion. Now, we had a few bets that were leaning Kamaru, and that didn't pan out, right?
No, that did not pan out. As you see right there, he took the kick to the head, and that was lights out for him. Completely controlled the fight up until that moment. Unfortunate for me, lost a few units on that outcome, but it was a great fight. Congratulations to Leon.
Big congrats to Leon. But you did take the fight to end by stoppage, so you're up first this week, and you grabbed Cyril Gane, 7-1 in the UFC, and Mr. Bam Bam is 8-3 in the UFC.
Yeah, so besides Tuivasa's 3-loss streak there a couple of years ago, he's been lights out, as we all know, but Cyril Gane is in another category with the Kamaru Usmans, the Leon Edwards. He's fought against different guys like Derek Lewis and Rosenstrike. It's the same kind of fighter that Tuivasa is. We'll see if Ty's got more power, but Cyril is amazing at dodging all these strikes. So look for him to just pick his shots, and I feel pretty comfortable around the 1.2 heavy favorite. I'm going to take Cyril Gane, the hometown favorite here.
Congrats to Mr. Cyril Gane, first pick overall this week. I took Benoit Saint Denis, 3-1 favorite. Maybe he's given a bit of a layup to please the fans at home, taking out Gabriel Miranda. Not a lot to worry about in Miranda. Also, he's a last-minute replacement.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that same thing, too. They just want to get Benoit Saint Denis on the card. They want to give him an easy win. He was definitely going to be my next pick. I really am a big fan of Benoit Saint Denis, and I think he's going to have an easy time with this fight. Gabriel Miranda hasn't fought a whole lot yet. He's got a great record, but this is definitely the biggest competition he's faced so far.
You grabbed Nasrat Haqparast for your second pick. I grabbed Mr. William G at 1.4 on the money. I don't love the 1.4 price point. It's always weird who you get at the 1.4 price point, but I just figured I'd grab William. Wasn't feeling too hot on a lot of other stuff on the board there.
Yeah, we're kind of jumping all over the place. This is really heavy favorite odds night here. We got one pick 'em, but I jumped down a little bit, grabbed Nasrat Haqparast. I really like him here, both even at the price point and especially in the draft here right now. Mac Desi has fought lower ranked guys. Nasrat's been fighting up a lot higher competition. I think he's going to be fed a lower one to keep him up there, kind of thing.
You took Stephanie Egger on a quick turnaround after a round 1 submission loss. They're getting her back in the octagon against a steep dog. I grabbed Mr. Magomedov.
I really like Stephanie Egger with this one. Should be fresh, even though she fought 4 weeks ago. It was a round 1 armbar, so she should be well fit for this fight here. Her opponent coming out of the Samurai Fight House, coming off of 4 straight wins there. So a big difference in the competition there. So I'm looking for Stephanie Egger.
As for the Dustin fight, Dustin's 1-3 in the UFC after a Contender Series win. Magomedov making his debut. Dustin 1-3. Lamb to the slaughter is what I'm hoping for here. 1.33 is pretty steep on the money line as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Magomedov is probably going to win this one. It's his UFC debut, but he's got about 30 fights under his belt now, or this one will be his 30th there. Longtime fighter in the PFL, 24-4-1. So I think they are going to just transfer out the hype train from Dustin to Magomedov. We'll see a bus run him over.
Next up, you sniped out the pick'em on the card, and I grabbed Robert Whittaker. Are you leaning away from Rob Whittaker? Are you leaning Vettori this week?
Man, that one's mostly just a coin flip to me. So I like the 285 price point that we see here on Vettori. I was just kind of staying away from it in the draft because anything could happen in that fight.
And then you jump down to that pick'em. What made you lean against Kopylov and go with Alessio this week?
The more I look at it, the more I like this play on Alessio. The money's swapped around, so Alessio is about 1.93 there now, and Kopylov is down to 185. Kopylov hasn't really fought against anybody of note. He's 0-2 in the UFC, and he's fought against worse guys than Alessio in those two fights. Alessio is 1-4 in the last in his last 5, but he's fought against really good guys to be losing those fights. So look for Alessio to turn this one around against. I'm thinking an easy one against Kopylov.
You grabbed Air Jordan, and then I grabbed Mr. Figlak. For me, I just took Figlak on an internet pick. I don't have a lot of confidence in my picks this week. We'll see how my side plays out. What made you lean Jordan with this matchup with Nathaniel Wood? It looks like Wood hasn't been able to get it done as of late.
I like Wood. I like what I see on tape when I watch him. I'm pretty sure I drafted Wood the last time that he was up here, maybe a couple of months ago. But Air Jordan is just another level of competition. He's fighting against a different tier of fighters, and he lost his last one, but he looks really good. He's got power in his strikes, and I don't think Wood is going to be able to hang with him right here.
I picked up Figlak and Imavov. I'm just going with the implied probability with most of this card. I wouldn't like to try to find value in a lot of the picks this week.
Yeah, I do that a lot in the draft as well. I see some guys around the 1.5 that, maybe they have, in my opinion, a 55% chance of winning. So I'll take them in the draft, but then I'll flip around and gamble on the other guy. I like Zayam's odds a lot better at the 2.7, and I like Joaquin Buckley a lot at 3.0 as well. And saying that, looking at the Khalid Taha fight, I don't know what to do with this fight. Last pick of my draft as well. I'm just going to lean Taha. Same idea with you, and I'm just going to avoid this one totally in the gambling picks.
This is an early card. Edmonton prelim start at 11 a.m. First fight of the night, Stephanie Egger. I'm looking forward to seeing if she can just jump in there and right the ship.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to basically the correction here. The round 1 armbar when she was a massive favorite last time. It really upset me when I drafted her early on 4 weeks ago. I'm looking for her to right the ship and get that W back for me.
And then, of course, the Saint Denis fight. Looking forward to seeing how that one plays out.
Yeah, definitely. Just going to be excited to see Benoit Saint Denis fighting again. I think it should be a pretty fun watch in this fight to beat up on Gabriel Miranda. He's going to be trying to, wrestle on the ground a lot, but Benoit is going to be tougher than any of his previous opponents. Not going to go down as easy, and Benoit has cardio to match with Gabriel, so it should be a fun matchup. Look for that one probably to go to distance. Now is where it kind of gets a bit interesting here. We got Joaquin Buckley, a really good fighter, trying to make ranking here now, trying to overtake Imavov in the middleweight rankings. I like Buckley. He wins a lot of fights that he shouldn't win. You can see him plus 215. That's kind of where he shines. Buckley by KO is a bit better odds, but it's kind of blown out there now, so I like Buckley just as it is.
I've got Figlak and Magomedov. Look for them to put on a decent enough performance to get their pictures displayed next to their names.
Zayam, another Frenchman on the card here. Look for him for a possible upset here now over Figlak. We got Charles Jourdain and Nate Wood. That one's going to be a fun fight. Nathaniel Wood's trying to climb up the rankings there. Jourdain's going to try and fight him off. This is going to be a great battle. Both the fighters bringing their all. Jourdain's got powerful shots, and look for him to be working the body and seeing what he can make out of that. Haparast, I'm really excited for that one. Bonus that he's fighting a Canadian here now. Mac Desi coming off a couple of wins, so look for this one to be at least pretty interesting.
I think Mac Desi fights a real tough fight, so if Nasrat gets it done, I think Nasrat will have to work for his victory in this fight. Featured bout, the Kopylov Pick'em, co-main, Whitaker Vittori. Very fun fight, sloppy seconds from Izzy. Both men with 2 losses to Izzy Adesanya.
Both fighters have only lost to Izzy, combined 4 losses since 2017. I think if you look back for Whitaker, he hasn't lost anybody but Izzy since 2014. So This one's going to be top of the division. You can see 1 and 2 here. Who's going to get the next title shot? Who's going to be beat up by Izzy for a third time? We'll see after Saturday night.
The over-under, I would say, is the more interesting matchup in this main event. It's 2.5 rounds. So is this fight going to end in the first half or in the second half?
That one's kind of got me brainstorming there as well. Tai Tuivasa's fights always round 1, round 2. So it's almost a lock that it's not going to go over 2.5. But Ciryl Gane takes his time, plays with the distance a lot, comes in, comes out, really fast, kicks, jabs, everything that he's got there. So look for him to try and extend the fight, wear out Tai Tuivasa, wear out his legs, and just work him with his skill, with his speed in the heavyweight division that's pretty much unrivaled.
The thing about Tai Tuivasa is that there's a bit of unknown in his performance in terms of cage time. In his 5 wins, he has 20 minutes of cage time. Ciryl Gane, we saw him go 5 rounds with Francis Ngannou, win 2 of those rounds. We saw him go 5 rounds with Rosenstrike. We've seen him do his thing in the octagon for quite some time. And yeah, Tai got it done every time, but I think Tai might be dragged into deep water in this fight.
Yeah, I think this might be where the Tai Tuivasa hype train kind of peters off a little bit there. If he wins this one, I guess he's going to get a title shot, but I don't think he's going to win this one. Ciryl Gane's going to maintain the #1 contender, and he's just going to kind of dance around him, avoiding those shots. But, you know, if he eats one, you don't know what's going to happen.
Very true. Looking forward to that fight.
Going to be a good one. That being said, I don't really want to bet on the 1.18 or the 1.2 Ciryl Gane to win. It's just not worth the money. But Tai Tuivasa by KO, I mean, if he's going to win, it's going to be by KO. You might as well get a bit boosted odds there. Plus 550 for the off chance on the guy that's coming off 5 straight KOs to have another one. I mean, I'll take those odds.
I'd much rather play Tai at 0.2 units to get up a unit than to play Ciryl Gane and lay 5 units.
Yeah, it's definitely the smarter play, the value play, you want to call it. Whether it wins or loses, you probably be statistically out less money.
You took Egger to win and Figlak over 2.5?
Yeah, going to parlay those together. Figlak over 2.5 is like 1.3 odds. Egger is somewhere around 1.36 there right now. So as much as I have total confidence that both will hit, I'm just going to take the value and parlay them together for, you know, a normal 1.8 play.
I like your 3+ money picks. Not too much lean on any of them, but a nice little payout on all of them.
Yeah, I like these ones. As I say earlier, they're kind of coin tosses for me. So I'll take the 50-50 chance at the 2.7 or the 2.85 or the 3.07 where I can kind of find the value. That's kind of where I'll make my money there. Besides that, I got most of my money pumped into Benoit Saint Denis just to win outright there at 1.33. Benoit is fighting against some completely random fella, and I don't think he's going to win. Really don't think that he's got much of a shot to win that one. So I'm really confident in Benoit in this one. I like Charles Jourdain. I found him at 1.7. Some books have him around 1.6, 1.65. So I'm really comfortable with Charles Jourdain maintaining his ranking there and showing off his superiority over Nathaniel Wood, keeping him down for a bit. We got Egger to win. We got the Zaim Figlak. We got Nasrat, and we got Magomedov. I like Magomedov to win there. He's a veteran, even though he's making his UFC debut. Dustin Stolfus is spiraling and losing, so I think they're just going to swap him out with Magomedov there. And Nasrat at another tier of competition. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to win this one. Taking Alessio on the pick'em. Luckily enough for me, the odds swapped around, so I get a little bit better value for my play here now. I think Alessio is just going to beat down on the winless in the UFC, Kopylov. Moving on there, we got our dogs. We got Faris Siam. So maybe he's not going to win. Maybe he will. But at 2.7, I like that. Vettori with the coin flip. I like him for half a unit to win 1 unit there. Joaquin Buckley, big Joaquin Buckley fan, so I'm just going to root with him and take him as a dog. He pays out as a dog, so why not? Let's roll the dice again. And we got Tai by KO, rounding us out there. Really excited for this card. We got almost 10 units on 9 plays, and we're looking for a profit of 9 units here.
Pay-per-view week. Khamzat Chimaev taking on Nate Diaz. What a fight. Chimaev's like minus 500. We'll see what happens. Sandhagen has paid for his sins of losing in the top 5. He's taken on Song Yadong, who's trying to knock his way into the top 5, September 17th.
Yeah, both of those fights look pretty fun to me. Chimaev is on that hype train. I think he's going to be making his way to the top of the division there pretty soon by the looks of it. And Sandhagen versus Song, it's going to be a solid fight. Should be good. So we're out in Paris for the first time. This is a big European card going on here, and it's chock full of talent. There's 5 or 6 solid fights there, a lot of name recognition, and a lot of good talent. I think it's going to be a great fight night.